Very big greetings and herzlich willkommen in Berlin. And by special invitation, an episode of the One Man Cooking Show where, I understand, if it doesn't work out, don't pout, you can just go buy pizza. American version. Here I might run out and get a doner or maybe currywurst. Subjects for another day, which I hope that you might see some of those as well. Today's guest stars are Onion and Onion. Leek, yes. I try to do things, recreate things that we don't get here that you can do in America, but this is really an original. I have an opportunity sometimes to do workshops, dance movement workshops, and I was in Bavaria, or in actually the Black Forest, and the people in the part of the program just cooked things, and there was actually very good food, but there were these little patties, and I was like, these things are delicious. What are they? And they were like, oh, this is Lauch. And I was like, okay, what is Lauch? And I looked in my little dictionary and it was like, these are leeks. Okay, so I was like, I asked him the next day, I was like, how do you make these? Oh, you cut them up and you cook them up with some egg and some, it's just like a little patty. Simple. I started on that journey, and after just a few tries, I've made some small additions to it. Now I like to put in like a little bit of feta cheese. I like to put in a little bit of spice. These are like some Chinese red pepper flakes. This gives it a different taste. It adds to it. I know onion on onion, but I mean, sometimes on a burger, I would like fried onions and raw onions as well. Not the same analogy, but... And then a little bit of garlic, salt, pepper. That's some original panko. We're going to cut these up. I'm going to do some of the prep, maybe show you a little bit, not too much. I'm going to cut this down the middle. Be careful with these if you haven't worked with them before. They get a lot of dirt down in the middle, so I'm going to cut some of the top off, cut it in half, leave the end, because that'll make it easier holding all these little leaves together in the middle to cut that into little slices. And we'll be back when we are fully prepped to throw this stuff together for you. Okay, we're back. And we're back. Won't spend a lot of time watching this, but talk a little bit about the preparation. I thought I was the only one that took it to this extreme. Of course, I learned the recipe from somebody or found out about it. People do this, but a lot of them boil it, and we're going to do it a lot differently. We're going to go to the little walkie wok, and then we're going to fry these in my old standby cast iron skillet. Okay. So these are just rings, and we're going to do the whole thing in this nature. And like I said, we want to keep the end on because it makes it a lot easier. Actually, so I used to cut this off, and I was like, that's so stupid. The onions, the regular onions, we're going to cut, of course. I know you all know how to cut an onion. Okay, we're going to do it about like this. We want it pretty small because we don't want to see chunks of the onion in there. We want to really enjoy and love and smell. And this it really smells. If you never eat leeks, these are even good just sautéed by themselves, like as a side dish. But it's going to be really good with in the patty form. I think that we're going to put together for you today. The last thing is garlic. These are huge, gigantor pieces of garlic. I'm just going to put those through a press. So I'm going to finish cutting this stuff up, then we're going to get it started. Make sure, I think we have sufficient heat under this wok right now. We gave it a little time. Just make sure that you really get it hot. I'm going to say 2-3 tablespoons of this, maybe a little heavy a bit, because we got a bunch of stuff to put in here. I went with half of that onion. I showed you the whole thing. Only half because it was only one small leek, and we're just having fun with the recipe, having fun with the leeks. Leek's fun. We're going to put that in, and I had those 2 gigantor garlic pieces, and we're just going to put one. It almost doesn't even fit in here. That should be interesting. Yeah. Garlic. We're just going to let that bloom a little bit. Just get it going. We don't need to really worry about we just want those smells and the flavors to condense a little bit before we add the leeks to it. We're not going to make them translucent. We're not going to do anything because they're going to cook with the leeks. And it's going to take a little bit of time. These are, okay. That's about what they come out, like little ringlets. And I'm going to let these cook for a little bit. And you know what? I forgot. These are the chilies. Okay. Not too much. Good couple of pinches. It's up to you, and you don't even need to put this in. You totally don't need to even use chilies in it, but I like the spice that it brings to it. It's like, 10 minutes after 7 local time, and I'll give you a rough idea about how long it takes to get this done. Okay, peace. Okay, so as promised, it's like 8 to 10 minutes, okay, and we've got some pretty good consistency with this, I believe. This is kind of soft, okay, nice, it's like a little mushy. We're gonna throw this in here, okay, obviously this is leek, this is the onion, this is the red pepper, and the garlic. Feta cheese. Holy guacamole, that man. This stuff is the never-ending. That is the expiration date on this is like 28/10/21. I didn't. They're like Twinkies. And don't be afraid to make it small because you don't want, well, big chunks of like feta cheese and anything really probably isn't bad, depending on how you feel about feta cheese, but it's like one of my favorites. Put it in my Italian salads and turns into a Greek salad. So we're going to throw this in here, pretty small, okay? Crumble it up, but I did salt when I was cooking. I'm going to put a little bit more salt in now. Salt as you go. Not too much because the feta's got some salty qualities to it. My favorite pepper mill, it's actually a Turkish coffee grinder, but it works like fantastic. Better than the normal mill, I think. And we got the panko, okay, this is the binder, and I'm going to put about like 3/4 of a cup. Panko, it's very light, okay, and very delicious. Just one egg in this would be more than enough. And now I'm just going to mix this together until we have a nice, even consistency. Okay, got a nice, even consistency. I'm going to take this, Chef John style. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator just to let the flavors condense a little bit and to let these hold together a little bit better when we actually start to fry them, which we're going to do in about, I'm going to give this a little half hour. It's still like a little bit tiny bit warm, and I want this to be like fully totally cooled, and I can make nice little patties out of it. This has been in the fridge for about a half an hour. Okay, I'm going to put a generous amount of oil in Old Faithful, which I like to call her. I'm going to wet my hands briefly. This is a very, very small batch. This is nice and light because of the panko. Gonna make a nice little patty. And I know I just put that in, but I think I've had it under heat for a while. Yeah, we have liftoff. It says green deliciousness with a little bit of cheesy taste to it. Okay, so we had, because of the camera angles, I got a little burner and a little burner and a big burner burn. I usually cook on the big burner on this side. Because it was a tiny one, I had them on the outside and the insides are done. So I gathered all of the troops around the campfire, and we're going to try and get the middles of these done in a little bit more uniform fashion. But I thought that was like kind of cute. This is the finale. And this is a big plate with a little bit of something on it. But, to be honest, it's like, this is a great side dish. This is on applesauce, a little applesauce bedding, and we're gonna like mix, get a couple of flavors. Avocado is like wonderful, good food, and we're gonna put this all together for a bite. But the important thing here to remember is these are great as just like snacking stuff. Those are like the best like fritters you're ever going to have in your entire life. So try and give us a try whenever you get a chance. Don't sell leeks short. Have a lot of fun with them. You can cook them any way you want. And thank you very much for joining us. Please, if you like the content that we're doing, please let us know. Have a great day, and happy eating wherever you are. Cheers. No way did I buy pizza tonight. Just a second.